What's up, everybody? How y'all doing?
Hello.
Hey, what's happening? What's happening?
Another Tuesday night
Mhm.
poetry corner. We have Queen Edwina here. We got Pearl the Negra.
Hey.
We got Nicole R. Brookins in the building.
Hello.
We got Miss V.I.P.
Hello.
Brother Poetic. Myself, King Atterberry. And here we have my little princess on Gia.
Oh,
How's everybody feeling?
good.
Good, bro. How about you?
All right, all right. So look, we're gonna get right into it. Gia, we're gonna start off with you. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
I'm nervous.
It's all right. Good. Write your poetry. Good, it's all right.
My gosh. My name is Gia. I am a poet. I wrote this poem just to show it. An 8 just turned 8. You can write rhymes, but you can't write mine. I practice Spanish and read books with my mother. I have sisters and twin brothers. My mom is trying to remove the cattails of Lake Labori. This is my story.
All right.
Yay.
Everybody,
Okay.
Nice.
Very nice. Very good.
thank you.
Good, Gia.
All right.
Okay.
Very nice.
We thank you for coming in today. You know what I mean?
So cute.
That was precious.
Yeah.
Close the door, okay?
Love it.
Oh, that's a wonderful
My
thing.
little prince. My little princess.
There you go. That's good.
All right. Well, since we had the kitty show just now, that was the proceedings of the proceeding. All right, we're gonna start this off with you, Miss VIP.
Oh, okay. um, I guess I named it The Power of Poetry. I'll try my best to describe how poetry has power. It can cause a myriad of emotions, produce entertainment, make you want to write hour after hour because you have to let it out until you're spent. There may be times when you're blocked, or so you think, and you find tears on the ink. That's more powerful because tears are cleansing and leads to a smile that's just for you. Then the power of poetry shows others how you really feel. You can express love, hate, indifference, the indignities of racism and equality. Telling someone you love them in poetry is one of the most powerful of all. See, words won't erase. They'll stay in the heart or the mind. They may even be in the cloud. Words of poetry can be subtle, whispered, or out loud. But the power of poetry can never be denied, even if you tried. And that's that piece.
Right. Right.
Thank you. Thanks.
Phenomenal ink.
Thank you.
Oh. All right. Brother Poe, we're gonna rock with you.
All right. Can y'all hear me okay?
Yes.
This piece is called Spoiled by Your Words. Spoil me with the conversation of your day. Stroke my intellect with each and every syllable you have to say. Fill the missing components of the void in my harmony with your beautiful octave. Compel me into bliss as you unpack your every word I never knew I could crave. Share your world with me in such a way that I would love to do this for hours and hours. Have my soul relinquish this harnessed power as you unpack the nouns and verbs that zap your mental energy. And I'm here to be that verbal release to protect your synergy. Let me shoulder the burdens of where your words land. Mentally seduce me with your cadence and Make love to my thoughts with pure penetrating adjective onslaughts. You give me all the details very slowly. Don't skip a single moment in your delivery. Let me get lost as I gaze into your eyes, watching the small quiver in your lips that lies within your element of word insatiability. Share with me that vulnerability that you hide because you have to be so strong. I'm here and you can do no wrong. I yield intently to your deity as queen, so that freedom you seek is seen. Allow me to take off your crown while I protect your realm. 'Cause in your voice, I hear the most beautiful love song, waking up in my soul spirit all along. The scope of your existence, when you speak, creates this energy of romance science. Just from you spoiling my intellect from words about your day. I love what you have to say. I love you. I love you. Poetic.
Wow.
Thank you, Poetic. I appreciate that.
You're more than welcome, Juicy Fruit.
Oh,
Oh.
Inspired, definitely.
it just
Mhm.
warms
All
my
right,
heart.
so
Ooh.
woo,
Give that man an applause.
yes,
Hey.
definitely
That
applaud.
Thank
boy
you.
good. That boy
Yes. That was dope. That was dope.
God.
Right. Nicole or Brooke.
Yes, sir. So the power of poetry. I think poetry is so useful to so many people. Um, whether you're the writer and you just releasing, or someone's actually listening or reading your poems and is giving giving them something to relate to, or give them I guess happier image or things like that. So I think we do great works being poets, because it's really healing for some as well as ourselves. And I decided I'm going to do this poem. It's called You Are the Poetry. You are the poetry. I curtsy and bow my head in awe to you, your grace, because I realize that I am not a poet. I am just the ink and you are the poetry. Your words flow like an endless rainbow of colors, intertwining and shading my thoughts while bringing them to life, trickling melodically off my tongue, making my eyes roll back in my head, picturing the images painted on the canvas of my mind. Similar to an ocean, not truly having a beginning or an end, everything flowing freely, wrapping and rolling within itself. Whether it's the crashing or soothing calm of the waves of dialect washing over me, you are my poetry. In peace.
Yes.
Yes.
I love it.
All right.
Good girl.
That's
That's what's up. That was dope.
setting it again tonight. Pearl and necklace.
Yeah, me searching for a piece that has something about poetry in it. All right, I just found something old. Um, this is called My Poetry. Reach for me. I promise to hold on. I am so into you, I almost forget to breathe. When you emerge, because you pull me in close and hold me tight every time we're alone. Reach for me. I promise to hold on. I am on the edge of losing control, and the presence of you is my only rescue. I don't want to exist without you. Reach for me. I promise to hold on. I don't want to continue to climb this mountain called life alone. I get tongue-tied when you're away, but it clears when you're around. Reach for me. I promise to hold on. I was taught to hold on to, but never smother what is precious to you. You are precious to me. So I reach for you as my tears fall like distant rain while I mask the pain that has cut me deepest. Reach for me. I promise to hold on. You are the only one who has ever known the deepest inner workings of my heart and why I do what I do. The one who taught me that I don't have to walk away wearing the ugly they put on me because jealousy is a color worn by the broken. Reach for me. I promise to hold on to you. My poetry. And that's it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
V,
Dope.
Thank
that
you.
thing reach for me and
I
3D. I love that, little bro.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, that was dope.
Definitely.
Definitely.
Thank you.
Right? Let me send this.
Okay. All right. This piece is untitled and unfinished. It's placid here on the surface of this kiss. It's a lake with no wind. It's an eternity etched in goose flesh skin. It's urgently easy here, a relentless surrendering to the warmth of another sun, to the tide of a new moon. Here is a dope poem with no ending. Water with no bottom, too deep to dive in. Here is me, clay pliable for the first time in forever. Here is satiated hunger for unfamiliar foods and truths as juicy as forbidden fruit. It's so tranquil here on the surface of this moment. This easy skin river, this melding so perfect, so purple, like my favorite color, and fresh bruises. It's like knowing something unfamiliar. It's in my guts. It's on my skin like your scent. It's in my dreams. It's on my mind. It's on your hands here. It's in my face. It's in your beard like my fingers. It's somewhere between before, ever, and after, and it exists for an eternity. That is so, so easy. I can live on the surface of it forever. Like hope lives on a dandelion fluff wish. Here is me. Here is you. Flesh, perfect, giving, and taking in equal measure. Here is neither greedy nor gracious. Here is yes to everything and no to forgetting. Here is tattooed behind my eyelids and emblazoned in my skin. It's a saccharine tinge left on my lips. Here, nothing is forbidden and all is light, sun and feather. Here is flight, on the surface of a moment calmed and thinned. There is power in this moment with no ending. I begin. Your kiss was everything. And that's that piece.
Mm.
Yes,
Girl,
ma'am.
you was taking me somewhere with that.
Yes. All
I
right.
know, right?
That was nice.
Mhm.
That
Thank
was
you.
nice.
Yes.
As I stand here to represent the beard gang,
There you go.
I'm just going to say the beards are made for fingers and much more, but I like what you did with that piece. Thank you.
That was dope. That was dope.
Bro, you giving out secrets?
Honey, we
Yo, that was
already know. We already know.
Bro, don't start your mess.
Right.
All right, y'all. This is a piece I titled I'm the Mix. See into the unknown. Just feel and sense it all. Never draw for if the cards are worn. Hours pass by in the present, moments that's the past. Emotions become masked inside reflections that are trapped. New life exists by dawn in the early mornings. Eyes emerge open with a yawning, sound like roaring. Breaking sleep off, therefore the body no longer weaker. Enjoying the music from a speaker, adjust the volume meter. Wash away the fever with a shower, replenish power. Hit the clock after I'm dressed in 10 minutes before an hour. Move with ninja step. Hit the ride, then slide by. Neighborhood quiet as the church sermon cries out. Hello to friendly skies, hit my employment place of work. Inside this different earth, manufacture a mixed birth. Keep a tone low as I am like Tyson in his prime. My lane unexplained, only known to the divine. Hold on, let me rewind before I enter closed doors. Tap the screener, temp is normal, monitors show how my score. Walk slow on carpet floors, past an office not enormous. Energy around me feel like I'm inside of a forest. Lion instinct set in, feel the trouble, too much talking. Silence is always golden when around hearts that are frozen. King.
Yes, sir, bro.
Okay.
Yes, sir, King.
Yeah.
Nice.
Very nice.
Okay, we're gonna come back around to Miss V.I.V.E.
This piece is called How Do I Know? How do I know when my poem is finished? It's when I'm spent. My emotions spill out as well as my tears all over the paper without consent. Thinking of all I've endured over the years, at times I don't know when my poem will finish. Because you are the words and I am the pen, and what I feel for you will never diminish. Sometimes I can't write at all. Believe it or not, it's true. I don't know when my poem is finished. There are too many things to write about, too many feelings to emote. Perhaps my poem will never end because the universe sees me, hears me, even when I can't find the words that need to escape from my parched throat. Deep within, I know my poem is finished because there's a relief, a feeling I feel when it's done. And before I know it, words flow through my head and a new poem has begun. And that's that piece.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Damn.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Steve, okay.
Thank you.
All right, setting it up tonight. Brother Poe.
All right, I'm going to do this piece since we're talking about poetry. It's called I Write Poetry Because. I write poetry because the ink that flows from my pen has more than soul healing properties when I've been abused, hurt, ridiculed, and spat upon. See, those that spew venom out of their mouths have nothing to grow on. But my ink is a constant reminder that I need to keep being expressive, channeling positivity and romance to create perspective. I write poetry because the words and metaphors don't judge me. Instead, they console me, allowing me to be without judgment, relaxing my inner demons and calming my temperament, creating a clear objective to be light in the dark, help fuel and ignite others' passion with a spark. I write poetry because it's more than a hobby. It's a communicative exercise surrounded by unspoken emotions that only often the pen can speak, so as the ink leaks. I write poetry because I need to say things that others are afraid to voice, because their social status or fear leaves them no choice. As the printed or cursive manuscript helps broadcast the new social activist through my quill's nonverbal conflict. I write poetry because some lovers just don't know how to express. The same reasons we buy greeting cards to suggest that this inanimate object of written feelings can create emotions to leave another reeling. I write poetry because my life depends on it. See, when depression wanted to strangle me, it lost its steam because I had a blank piece of paper to drop my tears written in ink that can cut like a sharp razor. I write poetry because the metaphorical oasis waiting in reserve so I can sip from an ink crimson goblet with a written intent to become the greatest, lyrically drinking on poetic forms to create a brand new rhyme syndicate that will leave the status quo and show the masses just how far my pen can go. I write poetry because the activity being displayed in the community deserves to have that one beacon of light that cares day and night about the matters of injustices swept under the rug by fake attorney practices. I write poetry because it makes me feel good, creates a peaceful mood, allows me to escape into the depths of my mind to uncover new ways of creating art with word imagery just to find that the people who struggle with no concept of hope need a literary artistic creation to help ease the pain so they can cope. Lastly, I write poetry because I am poetry. Poetic.
Yeah.
Oh, yo.
Oh,
That's
Right,
great.
brother.
Okay, okay.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
Well, applause.
Man.
oh, it's
that
dope.
was
Man.
dope.
Thank
That
you.
was
Definitely was.
dope.
Thank
The
you.
lines and the
Okay.
delivery, dope. Dope,
Okay.
dope. All dope.
Not worthy.
Love
We
it.
are
Yes.
not worthy.
Yeah.
Yo,
Yes.
Paul, don't forget to send me my verse by midnight. All right. I need that for next week.
I got you, bro. I got you.
Yeah, that was dope, though. I like that.
Thank
Mhm.
you. Thank you, family.
Yes.
All right. No doubt. All right. Go back to Nicole or Brookie.
All right. I'm trying to decide. Y'all just taking me on such different paths. Okay. Well, I'm going to just do this one. And it's called The Bleeding Pen. The bleeding pen. I pressed firmly on my notepad, squeezing and choking the bottom half of its body. Thoughts fluidly flowing as it moves rapidly and spilling onto the lined pages. These are the drops of blood flowing out of my pen. It's bleeding profusely with the hurt, pain, disgust, and distrust many have had, or will feel. Is bleeding for those who were forcefully silenced. Is bleeding for those whose rights were violated and revoked. It is bleeding for the mother and father who had a child's life taken away with the squeeze of a trigger. Is bleeding for that brother or sister whose sibling's life was exterminated as if it was an annoying bug buzzing in your ear. Is bleeding for that niece or nephew who just the other day confided with them a secret that would not be understood by their parents. Is bleeding for that aunt or uncle who was so much more than family but a true friend. Is bleeding for that friend or lover who was promised they would call when they got home but never did. My pen bleeds out without clotting that someone else won't. Bleeding to speak on the truth that has been twisted up and molded into a lie. The fabrication about a person's character to make spilling blood a justifiable act. Bringing up an irrelevant past that had no bearing on the right now. Misconstruing facts that were seen by your own two eyes. My pen bleeds to expose my pen bleeds to expose the indiscretions that continually seem to be overlooked. My pen bleeds for the making of a better world. It drips drops of compassion that needs to be felt regardless of race. Drops of humanity as well as love for your fellow man. And my pen will continue to bleed because the smallest trickle of ink will stain your memory so it cannot be forgotten. My pen will not be capped. It will be left to freely flow in peace.
Yes.
Right. That pen will not
Nicole.
be cut.
Mine.
Yes.
That's
That's
right.
mine, Nick.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
right.
Thank you.
Yes.
I
Yeah,
like
applause.
Powerful.
I mean, it's applause night tonight.
it.
That was good.
That's what's up.
It really was.
The problem is, I'm out of voice tonight.
Okay. This is another one, but this is called She's My Poetry. I fell in love with the world of poetry very young, but conditioned fear instilled left me with no voice to voice my passion, kept it suppressed until it was just lost. And then she gave it back to me. She, my poetry. Sometimes I'm just in love with the pain. So I write poetry because it belongs to me. Because I'm flawed, but I can expose it through the flow of my ink, and she, my poetry, thinks it's beautifully. There isn't anything I can't show or tell or be through my poetry. See, poetry is my soulmate, my heart's desire, my true love, my anger, and my mistakes. All that I am rides through my ink to her, and with her, she sees and receives me. She carries me. She, my poetry. I write poetry for someone's story that's afraid to be told and for who can't be heard, because poetry is life. I write poetry because I fought monsters in the dark and made friends with them at night. Suffered at the hands of what wasn't my fault and never was made right. I write poetry because the universe straightened my crown while explaining to me that I am royalty. I write poetry because my greatest love story dwells deep within my soul and yet is yet to be told. I love my poetry. I have a story and it belongs to me and she, my poetry. And that's that piece.
Okay.
Yes, 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 yes.
Thank you.
Very aesthetic. Very aesthetic.
Thank you.
I love my poetry.
Thank you.
That was dope. I like that.
Thank you.
Definitely. All right. Amy Simmons.
Okay. It's your music that moves me. It's the overture that plays and the curvature that is your Cupid's bow, and the symphony in every soliloquy you speak to me. You feed me. You charge me. Electric guitar, you spit bars that send me to the edge of the galaxy and give me a courtside view of the stars. You touch the turntable softly, laying your stylus gently upon my record. A connection so staccato, electric and violent. Your treble is so perfect that I can hear your silence. Wow. Look at you. You're amazing in your own special pitch. Part perfection, partly manly, raffish wit. You got a way about you that feels like Art Dada, like Mingus and Pork Pie Hat. You're the swell in my aria. Damn, you entice me. I want you beside me. It be a music that moves me. Your tune sets my song free. I'll be the boom if you'll be the bip. I drink you in like lover spit. It covers me. I'm caught up in it. The ride of your rhythm is worth the admission to play in your whiskers like Santana tickles a Gibson. I want to straddle your Stradivarius. You be savant. Master of the V in my virtuosa and the O in my overflow. Whatever you want. God body MC, color me lyrically Picasso, then blow on that thing like tickle my backbone like Coltrane on the saxophone. Use your fingers, play with it what you want. It's whatever you like. The loneliest monk, 24 karat cocoa, body cut a godly figure from the blueness of moonlight, the newness of new night, this moment that's just right round my corners round midnight as the moon and your low tide tugs at my insides. You beefy like hootie, blossom in the back of my throat like sweet cherry wine and good ganja smoke. It's worth the bruises, it's worth every cent to be in your concert, to learn from your hand, to heed in response to your every command. I'm your one woman mosh pit poised for your next hit. It's your music that I'm addicted to, and I can never get enough of it. And that's that.
Yes.
Now you know I love this piece, right? You
I
know
do
I'm
too.
a fan.
Awesome, awesome, awesome.
Beautiful.
My goodness.
Yes, yes, yes.
Oh, you want to go next?
I can. You want me to go? You want me to go? You get no. You got it. You got it. You got it. I don't want to go behind that.
That was real dope though.
That's Queen Simmons. I ain't going behind that. Mm-mm.
Just leave me out of the cold, right? Good. I got your number. All right. This is a piece titled My Only Truth. Before my prime, I started caring about the written lines, placing words together as some women opened up my closed mind. Many songs I heard before that I was able to understand, but I knew one day I would comprehend and be a real fan. As a young dude, became influenced by all these others that were writers, sensational divers, creative night spot hotlighters, smooth with the flow of placing emotions on pieces. Learned to give it all I got, turned doubters into believers. Some of the ladies were pleased with my material to read. The more paper they received, the more ink started to bleed. In person, my freestyle made it hard for some to breathe. My hypnotic, supersonic, sensual topics had them hug and squeeze. Became a cat with the poetry raps, wore my cap to the back. The way my fascination for this genre made me cool like that. Muses providing ideas and concepts on the fly. I will always be in love with poetry until I die. Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
All right.
You know, I was
Yes,
sitting there
sir.
like
Yes.
supersonic.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Love that.
Okay.
All right. We're going. So I have a question. How do you feel about the power of poetry?
Mm.
We can start with you, Adrian. V.I.V.E. I'm sorry. Excuse me.
It's
Pardon
okay.
me.
No, it's okay. Um, I really think poetry holds a lot of power. And like Poetic mentioned not too long ago, poetry is everything that can be expressed that others won't or others can't.
Mhm.
And there's real power in that. And if I'm afraid to say I love you to somebody, I can put it in a piece. I can do something like that. You understand what I'm saying? Or if I'm mad or whatever it is. Poetry to me is life. And it's like in the power of a tongue, it can produce life or death. You see what I'm saying? So it's very, very powerful.
Mm.
So,
Totally agree.
Absolutely.
all right. Poe, how you feel about the
Man,
power of poetry?
I feel that the power of poetry, man, is a whole nother opportunity to be creative, who you want to be, who you can be, who you're not, where you are, what's your perspective, and more importantly, it's the power to change the world, man. Um, the words that you speak, we grew up, and I think I said this before in the show, but we grew up, with the words sticks and stone may break our bones, but words never hurt. That was a whole lie.
Yeah.
That was a whole lie.
Yeah.
Because you can see that when we create poetry, something that we say in our piece may hurt somebody, and it may love on somebody at the same time. It's all about the
Right.
perspective of the individual, where their mindset is. And that's why I love the power of poetry, because you can use it to just create an environment of peace, solitude, and keep you from going insane at the same time.
True facts. Appreciate that, bro. That's true though. All that. Nicole?
I agree.
I guess I was premature earlier, but I was saying it's healing a lot of times. It gives you a release, and sometimes some people need that. They don't want to, tell all their business to the next person, so they could jot it down on paper. Or some of the things that I write about is not, anything that I experienced, but I'm pretty sure someone else did. But I just, put it to words. So I think it's healing all around. And as far as just leaving your mark, I want somebody to be able to say, okay, wow, she was definitely a good poet. I enjoyed, what she had to say, things like that, and or want to just share it. Like, you got to read this one, you got to hear this poem, stuff like that.
That's what's up. That's
Yeah,
absolutely true.
absolutely.
Thank you. All right, with Pearl and Negra. Power of poetry.
Power of poetry. Oh man, poetry is everything. Poetry is not just your voice, it's somebody else's voice that just hides it away, or it can't be heard. It's medicine, it's good medicine. You know, it's healing, it's life. Everything exists within poetry. There isn't anything that you can't say or accomplish, or a message you can't get across through poetry. It does everything. And it doesn't have to be a long drawn out piece. It could be two simple words that are just poetic, and they just touch you, and
Yeah.
they mean so much. You know, poetry is just, it's everything. It's life. And that's it.
That is very true.
So,
I love it.
good. Thank you for that. Penny Simmons.
Well, to me, I think poetry is like it's also creation. You
Mm-hmm.
know, we think about giving birth to something. It doesn't necessarily have to be a child, but giving birth to a poem is creation in a similar sense, you know? Think about the fact that they are poems that have survived history to tell stories of generations. And it's the story that we go back to, and we pick apart each word to try to find significance of that day. The poets were meant to tell the story of the day. I think that is our power, because we want to come
Yes.
back to this time right here after this pandemic, and you want to think about how the only poets are the ones that can take the emotions of today and have it where it's recreated, so that sometime
Yes.
100 years from now somebody can feel what we felt going through this experience. I think that is also the power of poetry. Poetry is creation. It's a frequency that you create and you share with a common group of people, whether it's somebody who feels you, who is inspired by you, somebody who is triggered by you, because you know how sometimes they say your angels can upset the demons. You don't know really what
Yeah.
it's doing, but it can touch people in a lot of different ways and have an impact. But at its core, it is a pure expression of an emotion and a time that gives you a chance to get back, you know, to go back to.
Good.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Appreciate you hearing that. Absolutely true.
Mhm.
I feel, you know, power of poetry. I feel like it is its own universe. You know what I mean? Everybody's a star. You know what I mean? Whether you drop, you're also in unification with others. You know what I'm saying? Their energy belt to be picked back up. You know what I'm saying? Like all of you said. You know, you can express. You can go in multi directions of conversation. You
Mhm.
never know who would affect who. You know what I'm saying? Somebody might hear a piece and be like, "Wow, you know what? Okay, thank you for that." You know what I mean? And I mean, like I said, I feel like power poetry is energy,
Mm-hmm.
vibrations. It's everything. You know, everything that we have in our own makeup. You know, power poetry is love. You know what I mean?
That too.
Love, compassion, care, and all of everything else that go with it. You know, I mean, sometimes a person go left, it can become dark. You know what I mean? But also,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
and also, you have a light force. You know what I mean? So, you know, that's good, evil, but you know, you are the sole creator of what you manifest. So that's how I look at the power of poetry,
Well said.
the
Well
blessing
said.
to have that gift of right.
Absolutely. That's true.
Well, Miss VIP, you have anything else for us?
I got a little something short. Um, it's untitled. I write to tell you I love you. I'm mad at you, or I'm so proud of you. The point is, when I'm mad at the world, wondering why they can't just talk things out. I write for justice, the unjust. And why can't we all just live and let live? The point is, I'm hurting and I need you to understand how deep it is. how mad I am when the anger has no place to go and the tears refuse to fall. The point is, when I need to tell you, I need you to kiss me, touch me, love me. The point is, I need to vent until I'm spent. And I write poetry because it gives me what I need when the world proves to be too much. Writer's block is anathema to me. The main point is, poetry is everything. And that's that piece.
Yes.
Yes, 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 yes.
Serious.
So,
I want to mark my apologies. Nicole, I might have skipped over. Thanks for bringing that to my attention. My apologies. Maybe I got a little,
No problem. Got a little excited.
But thanks for the catch, though. I appreciate that.
All right.
Proceed on.
And we was talking about the power of poetics poetry. What was we saying?
No. We was talking about the power of poetry.
I know, I'm just messing.
I got a piece pulled up just for you right now. Just for you.
Oh, shut up.
Yeah, I might have to follow you up on that one too.
So this one I have is untitled. Might have heard it before, but here you go. I wish I was that person who writes a poem at the drop of a dime. Because unfortunately, writing poetry is more than just making things rhyme. That's why I appreciate those who compose almost every day. While I'm stuck like Denise in the episode of The Cosby Show with Stevie saying, I don't know what to say. So being somewhat of a perfectionist with my craft, although I don't curse, I must say I surely don't half-ass. At one time, I used to keep my work just for self, but then decided to share. And after being embraced and getting much love, I figured I would be selfish not to introduce myself and make others aware. I know it might sound crazy that I haven't read many works of many of the poets who are well known, but I guess I never wanted to imitate another. I needed my style to be mine and mine alone. When I write, I carefully think out my approach, words used as well as my flow. I try to give you with a little piece of me as if it were a well stored away cargo. And no, you might not hear anything revolutionary, political, or even sexually explicit. I tend to stay in my lane of comfortability, but I can if I wanted to, so don't get it twisted. So if one or two of my poems should tickle your ear, I will put another notch on the slate, and I will definitely beam with joy and pride when I hear you say, yo, that Nicole Brookins is great. In peace.
Yeah.
that was dope.
I love it. I love it.
So much
I love it.
That's what's up.
Nice. I think King may have froze up on us because I don't
It
think
look like it looked like he froze.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, he looked real happy.
Too much.
Doing okay.
All right. Brother Cole, you good?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Ladies, in case no one has said this to you today, in case you were ever wondering, just know that I'm thinking about you. I've been thinking about you, wondering when I can see your ebony hue, that sun-kissed chocolate melanin, absorbing the rays from its warmth, melting my heart from your existence, daydreaming about your consistence. Yeah, I've been thinking about you. And just what I'm going to do when I get next to your heartbeat and my physical being seeks your residual energy from the top of my head down to my feet. Because thinking about you all day, my feelings get in the way. I try not to seem too anxious about what I want to be mine. I want to bask in your black sunshine. Tell the world that my natural tan is because she's the one for me, and I've been thinking about you. Waiting for you to tell me it's true, that your visions of a sunset included me, and you're no longer brokenhearted yet. The way I'm in love with love, I feel so excited to randomly have thoughts of your smile, and your softness seals the deal. I've definitely been thinking about you. Sad that all the things I've been through could have been avoided too. If only I would have met you to show me the existence of real love, and I begin to understand why I've become so addicted to not just you, but the way I think about you. Could you? Would you? Can you? Will you? Give me just a little more to think about. Maybe show me how I should have no doubt. Give me more soothing sensations that makes love's vibrations. Let them ripple through my soul. Make me whole, because without you, I'm incomplete. Competent enough to say the words, yet fragile enough to stop defeat, because I've been so broken. Yet my heart wants to open, all because of what's coming into view. So see, I've been thinking about you. Poetic.
Mm.
That was nice.
Oh my.
Thank you, thank you.
You're more than welcome.
I saw Edwina smiling, but he was really talking about me, okay? I know he said ladies, but he meant to say ladies.
I expect them 3 poems by midnight. You know what I'm saying? You keep showing greatness on this. I expect 3.
I got you, my brother. I got you.
I know you're a quick writer, so I ain't worried about it.
This is true.
That's what's up.
That's what's up.
Pearl and nectar.
Okay, this is a short one. Y'all know I'm the queen of short pieces. This is called Wild at Heart. She wears her hair wild like a modern day feral child. Her mind is sharp and her words are precise, but her lips are soft and utter warmth across them as to cause no harm. So if you take the time to listen, you can almost hear the secrets the angels whisper to her. Her heart is guarded because she's lost it to a fight for love one too many times, leaving her to deal with inner turmoil and suffering. But she's never locked it off from love, and when happy, she glows as if a bottled constellation lives within her skin. She's wild at heart, and she's never been the frail, fair maiden waiting for the night to slay the dragon. She doesn't need to be rescued. She's the empress from whom the slayer gets permission to hunt in her realm. She's wild at heart. Though she's mastered pretending, she's healed now, and all her broken pieces have been mended and put back together because she's wild at heart. And that's that piece.
All right now.
Nice.
Yes.
Beautiful. Simply beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, pause moment.
Yes.
Right, 27.
All right. I'm going to read this piece about how poetry inspired me through different stages in my life. It's called Letters to Maya Angelou. Dear Mother Angelou, my name is Edwina and I am in the 1st grade. I read your book about a bird in a cage and a girl that didn't talk because her words could kill. I'm glad someone else knows how I feel. One day my daddy made me cry. I got angry and said, I hope you die. I apologized. I did my best. 2 weeks later, he was stabbed to death. My mama sent me away just like you. She said it was what she had to do. The bad men beat and raped her kids, didn't know where the Fosters lived, but anyway, I found a home. And I also like to write in poem. I think about your birdie's wings. I too know why your birdie sings. Dear Mother Maya, I hope this letter finds you well. I'm living in a little hell. This writing thing I'm called to feels sort of like a fool's pursuit. I need to do what I have to do. I'm 15 buying baby food. But you know what? It's thanks to you. I won't be getting comfortable. Because though this seems an obstacle, I'm going to be all right. Another baby on the way, and still I'm writing every day. Like you, the sun, and a brand new day. I'm a phoenix and I'll rise. Dear Mother Maya, I'm sad to hear we'll have to meet in death, my dear. You worked the words I long to hear, the words you wrote, the words I dared not say. You taught on Inauguration Day. You taught from podiums and in schools, gave language a new set of rules. You colored in a brand new world for odd, unruly, bold Black girls. I hope to one day present my book in hopes that you could have a look. I dreamed you say, child, you lived through this, then comfort me with a mother's kiss. Though such a chance does not exist, I keep you in my spirit and I spit in hopes you hear it, in hopes another girl in first grade can walk upon the paths we made. Women writer, warrior, wordsmith, speaking from different types of pulpits, the kind that makes men raise their fists, remind the world we do exist. Dear Mother Maya, I wrote that book. I took that stage. I wore that look. I changed the things that I could change. Left the rest for God, I won't complain. I just want to give you an awesome praise for all the poets that you raised. You proved to us that we could be phenomenal women phenomenally. And that's it.
Yes.
Okay. It's
Yes.
outstanding.
Bye.
Outstanding.
Hey,
Oh
Queen.
my
All right.
goodness.
Thank you.
That almost
Okay.
made me weak.
Yes.
I know.
Woo.
That was dope.
Yeah.
That was incredible.
Mhm.
Wow. Amazing.
Right, you want to come behind that? Hey, Queen, you keep it up. I mean, you know I'm out of my environment and when I keep it up. I got you.
I'm
I
sorry.
got your number. I'm gonna dial it up too.
Okay.
All right. This piece is titled Masquerade of Affection. Walk inside the highest form of a heartfelt devotion, where the cards are on the table and life is in motion. Once again, it's the happening that is occurring inside. Feeling revived, I survived, saying goodbye to what died. No longer bittersweet, nor any high expectations. My spirit free from slowly waiting on time. I have been patient. Walk into the joy of knowing great moment can still exist. Giving your love the greatest kiss as I walk out from the mist. Make plans without demand as we travel into what's new. Play around with something, ideas are out of the blue. Set up ways for more enjoyable, pleasurable sentiments. Been loving you ever since. Let's take what's off the fence. Prepare for the next level of excitement to your daily routine. Provide gifts that don't exist on your wish list. I have deemed. Share a table of confidence made of tender love and care. Just beware of how sincere I would like to inhale your ear. Yeah.
Mm.
Ooh.
Mm.
Okay.
That's a deep last line,
Oh
bro.
my
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
goodness.
need you to
that
write something
is.
for
Okay.
me.
Exactly.
Oh, no, don't start the last line business again.
I need you to write something for me,
I
bro.
appreciate that,
Yes.
yeah. Hey, look, I appreciate everybody tonight, you know what I'm saying? But I have another question too before we like end out. Hip hop and poetry. Is there a difference? Is it just is rap just poetry in motion? Like I would like to go around again and ask everybody. We can start off with you, Poe.
Um, there is only one difference in my opinion, and that is hip hop slash rap has music or is set to music, where poetry is not set to music. Um, because we as poets, we tell stories within our pieces, and if we want to add music to it, you know, we would sound just like some of those artists, and it's been proven time and time again. You know, because my kids heard my piece "Don't Push Me" set to music. They're like, "Daddy, you sound like one of them rappers." But I was just merely just doing a piece. So yeah, the only difference is just the music component, just the instruments, the mixes, the beats.
So, VIP.
I think it's not really a difference, like Van said, to music, but also when you speak, like when you recite a poem, it can go romantically, and then you make the person that's hearing you have like that love song in your head or something like that. It makes a lot of things where like you're mad, and then you get that crazy music on, like NWA, you're like, but also too, but then you can have something like "You'll Never Get to Heaven If You Break My Heart," stuff like that. So, it's just like Van said, it's the music, but it's the way that it's recited. It's the way the words are recited.
Agree. I agree.
All right, Nicole.
I agree. Because I'm a music person, so I'm different. If you say a line, then I'm also hearing a song in my head. So it's like, it's just put the music pretty much. If you want to get like deep into it, some poetry is like, you have to have it this certain way, but other than that, it's just set to music.
Pearl and Necklace.
I agree. I don't see any difference between it, other than the music element. I mean, there really isn't too much you can say about that, except for I can't find anything different. I mean, rap and hip hop and poetry, they pretty much go hand in hand. They express everything. Everything. You express anger, you express love, you express politics, everything goes within it. So that's pretty much it. Yeah, the music dynamic is the only thing that's different. That's it.
Because throw that in there. Queen Simmons.
Yeah, I agree. Everybody's right on point. I think some people try to put it into a different category because of form. People who could be like, sticklers for different form, but then they might say that something that we're writing is not considered. Everybody has a different evolution of what their poetry is. And I think the same thing goes for rappers. Nowadays, sometimes I think they kind of get lost in the a lot of the music that's produced gets too caught up in the hype of just being popular, and it loses its but a lot, if you go to a lot of the deep cuts of the greater rappers, it's like very, very poetic. It's I totally agree. I do. I agree with what everyone is saying.
I agree with everybody. And we just know, took it there, went there, explained everything. So I wanna thank everybody for showing up tonight. Beautiful, beautiful show. Um, everybody better.
Feels good
Cat
to be
out.
back.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
brother.
Welcome.
God, you've been
In my
I
hey.
mean, feeling better and everything. Got that voice back. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
And
so
happy
that's a
belated
beautiful thing
birthday
right
to
there,
you.
brother. We miss you out here too. So glad to
Missed
have
y'all
you.
too, but I'm back, baby. I'm back. I'm back.
All
I
right.
see.
Oh
Came back
yeah,
and represented.
so
Love it.
so until oh, you know what? I'm sorry, I forgot to say poetic. Let everybody know what you got going on. I
Oh
mean,
man, y'all listen. Right
where's
now.
my manners
Right
doing?
now. Right now. Tune in to Epiphany Radio, the For Real Entertainment Network. Tonight is Fly Speak with your host, V.I.V.E. He got 3 dope features, poets lined up. Make sure y'all tune in 319-527-6300. Press 1 if you want to spit. Or if you just want to listen, you can listen, or you can listen online. www.blogtalkradio.com/EYE, the letter C, people. Right now, right now.
Rats.
You heard that man right now. You know what I'm saying? This VIP.
Yes.
Wanna let the chat, everybody know what you got going
on? Every Wednesday evening at 9 p.m., La Perla Negra and I are in the Love Zone, where we have various topics and we have a lot of fun. And then every alternate Fridays, I host Express Your Vibe. And it's just open mic. Whatever you feel, just come on in and express your vibe. That's it.
Love it.
So, let everybody know what's up.
Well, other than the Poetry Corner, you can also find me on Instagram at times under Clemson Hoodle 97. And sometimes I get on the open mics on different artist shows and things like that. So never know. Keep your eye open.
She might be hosting, y'all. Watch out.
I might need to.
Okay. Make it do what it do.
I know, right?
Yeah. Anything's possible in this world.
Yes.
Pearl?
Oh, well, like my diva said, every Wednesday night we're in the Love Zone. The topics we come up with are definitely worth listening to. Even though we give them to y'all at the last minute, y'all still manage to love being in the Love Zone. Alternating Saturday nights with Poetic, I am in Poetic Therapy, where I co-host with Stan the Man Phillips, and that's just a place where you can come and relieve some mental stress through some open mic poetry and some healthy conversation. That's it.
All right. Well, you, as always, can likely catch me here co-hosting with King and Q on the Poetry Corner, or on alternating Tuesday nights. We have our show on the Epiphany Radio Universe, King and Queen's Quarters. We haven't come up with a topic for our next show, but we will be in the house. We will be in the building. That's 9 o'clock on the Epiphany Radio Universe.
There you have it, everybody. You know what I'm saying? Y'all have a beautiful night. Get home safe, be safe, and be out of here. Peace, power, and poetry.
Peace.
Peace.